heart-centered and spiritual people struggle with money.
When somebody is inclined to spiritual of reality of life, most of the time, how I say, vulnerable, I would say, vulnerable to deeper, really rooted belief systems, which are not a really good structure with money and with money, which is in opposition with financial, with material opulence, with abundance.
You don't have to fix your past in order to have a happy future. You're allowed to let it go. It's allowed to have been one chapter in your journey, and you can close that chapter. You don't have to fix your past in order to have a happy future. You're allowed to let it go. It's allowed to have been one chapter in your journey, and you can close that chapter.
Maybe as a last thing, which I could say, is you cannot ignore your inner voice. It's always there. In the devil way, we always create. You always create what you have. But the question is, do you create what you really want, what you really love to create?
Hey everybody, it's Chris Duncan here. I'm so excited to be introducing you to Sasha, who's one of the authors in our manifestation book, Superconscious manifestation book. And we were just chatting before recording saying, finally we get to meet after all these years of working together. You've had a huge shift with the Superconscious work, my friend, and I'd love to just give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, what it is that inspired you to be part of this book, and share what you're up to now.
Thank you so much, Chris. Hi, everyone. In very simple words, I have been struggling for over 20 years, I would say, to figure out what's actually stopping me and why I'm not getting to where I want to get. And to be honest, I had huge resistance also when I first met with you and the Superconscious work, you especially. It was a huge resistance, but at the same time, it was a huge call from inside. And it was a struggle for a while, for a short while, but I kept to listen to this inner voice. And this is what actually made me dive in. And as soon I managed to surrender to it, to really apply, to say, okay, give it a try. Okay, you were misused, or you spent so much time and money and effort and trust to so many others, but let's give this a try. And as soon as
glad you did.
And then really shift started happening, and this inner voice started to be louder and louder, and pretty much soon everything starts shifting fast. So I'm very grateful for that, and this is where I am now, and why we are here at now. And I would like to share this opportunity and this work to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to hear that. I was reading your chapter and I was loving, it's nice to hear how much of an impact my version of our work has done, but it is our work. And you were saying that you had lots of different mentors, but one of the things that really changed once you received this work through me was that you stopped losing money. You finally, you shifted into that structure. And you also mentioned how many heart-centered and spiritual people struggle with money. So would you just talk to that shift, and maybe if people are out there with that battle of how do I stay heart-centered and spiritual and make money, maybe some advice for them as well?
Oh, this is definitely a huge topic.
Yeah.
A huge topic. But in essence, it's how I see it from my own experience, and now experience and work with my clients and working with you and with so many people who are really like heart-centered, and they're open to spiritual existence. They understand we are spiritual being in the material body and all this. When somebody is inclined to spiritual of reality of life, most of the time we get, how I say, vulnerable, I would say, vulnerable to very even deeperly rooted belief systems, which are not a really good structure with money and with money, which is in opposition with financial, with material opulence, with abundance. And all people try so many things to cover it and to forward the intention. Actually, no, it's not evil. Everything is coming from the same source and all of this, but nothing works for them. And this work, in my own realization and with so many examples every day, basically, from so many people that once we just master this art of being in the right structure,
Yeah.
spiritual or not spiritually minded,
Yeah.
everything changes. But people who are, yeah, as many people who are nice people, heart-centered people, spiritual minded, they had so much more trouble with that, I would say. And
They
this
do.
work, yeah, and this work, I think, sorry to interrupt, this work, I think, is so much more important for them.
Mm.
Although they rejected many times because they think, oh, like, I'm spiritual, I am already detached, I am this, I'm that, I have my guru, I have my this, I have my that. But you cannot pray, you cannot meditate because you think how you'll pay your bill for the electricity next month. So what's the point of your spiritual involvement if you are that vulnerable?
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to connect with you on that because I had that challenge and I see a lot with it as well. And they're just not in it. Most people who struggle with being spiritual, heart-centered, and making money, they're not in a true choice when it comes to money. They think there's a way they need to be in order to have it. And I'll offer up a metaphor. Imagine someone wants to create a food garden and they want to create food from a garden, lettuces, cucumbers, tomatoes, potatoes, whatever, right? And in order to have the food garden, it's going to sustain them and give them food. And all they must do is walk over to the garden. They must garden and they must tend to the garden, be a good gardener. And they're going to get as much food as possible, right? We all know this. But what they seem to think is if only they're a good person, then the garden will be better. If they
Yeah.
think positive, if they have a certain belief system or religion, if they clear their blocks, it's no, you just got a bloody garden. Like it doesn't make it, it doesn't change. And I think that's a really good way to think about money is money's just a thing over here. It has nothing to do with your spirituality.
Exactly. It's exactly that. And to see that and to be able to do something about it, we just
Mm,
simply need this impact from somebody who is
yeah.
not in that structure and who is
Yeah.
willing to help us. And
Yeah.
but there is this free will, as we know,
True.
always. And then if there is one very nice proverb everybody knows, you can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot force him to drink. And this is
Mm,
what we are facing. Once the horse realize, oh, I may be suffering because I'm thirsty, then we can really help. And this is so amazing what is happening all around the world. And your impact, Chris, of course, so many other people are now joining you and joining us in this revolution. It's amazing. It's such a global vibrational shift which is going on, and so many people are benefiting. This is amazing. I'm really grateful.
yeah. Yeah, me too. And those of you listening, Sasha's chapter in a Superconscious Manifestation book is fantastic. You're really outlining how you can make that shift and how he did as well. Because as you're saying, just a lot of people get misguided and that they're bringing things together that shouldn't be like money and spirituality, and they're just separate choices. And once you're in the right structure, you're allowed to be positive and you're allowed to have money and you're allowed to have a good relationship and you're allowed to have you're allowed to. They don't have to connect. And so I love that. Another thing that you talked about was unconscious blocks that are stopping people having a life they love and how people get in self-fixing mode. And you use these words, self-fixing mode. Would you just share a little bit about how unconscious blocks stop us or maybe how self-fixing mode gets people in the wrong structure?
Yeah, another huge topic, but it's so important. It's crucial. Thank you. But I realized, first of all, when I realized, let's say like this, on my own example, by following your teachings and superconscious work, is
Mm,
that actually self-fixing mode is becoming the second nature. It has become a second nature of the conditioned souls, if you want spiritual to use it, but everybody understands. We are all gravitating to the self-fixing.
mm,
How, oh, I have to become better. I have to become more perfect. I have to fix that. I have to,
yeah.
or I have to run from this. Yes, I have to run from this or that just in order to satisfy this pattern or that pattern,
Mm,
self-sabotaging pattern. And I really love what you expanded recently, this 12, actually 11, 12 now, just day or 3 days ago, or maybe 5 days ago, I listened it's even more clearly presented. And when we don't realize how this self-fixing mode is gravitating us always, how did you say bandaging,
Yeah.
or I don't know the English word, using the
Yeah.
bandage. Yeah,
Yeah.
always, all the time by default. It's just, this is the crucial first thing to
Yeah.
recognize,
It really
isn't
is.
it?
And a lot of personal development is just helping someone turn against themselves, make themselves wrong in a more advanced way. And
Mm.
if we go back to our garden metaphor, is it doesn't matter if you're positive or negative or black or white or any green or yellow or pink or purple or this religion or that religion or positive or negative. As long as you go to the garden, plant seeds, become a good gardener, you'll have a garden. And this is the
Yeah,
bit that's missing is understanding that you don't have to fix your past in order to have a happy future. You're allowed to let it go. It's allowed to have been one chapter in your journey and you can close that chapter. You don't have to I know, but I just want to make sure everyone out there is really hearing it because I really felt that in your writing. It's more about this letting go of unconscious blocks and it is trying to fix them. Because many of us have tried fixing, it just simply doesn't work. It just
yeah,
compounds the problem. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's yeah.
Yeah. So we got this amazing book coming out, and you're doing amazing work with people, coaching people. Would you maybe just talk to what it is that you coach people through, how you help them? And I know that you're giving away a free session for anybody here that would like to understand a little bit more about what you do. So could you share us a little bit of that?
Yeah, not as soon I started with your work, but very soon I was, let's say, naturally I was just naturally brought into position to help others because I was doing coaching and some
Yeah.
kind of counseling even before. However, when I
Yeah.
had this change, when this shift started happening, then immediately
Mm.
somehow people came and I started to
Mm.
coach people using
Right.
superconscious work, whatever I received, not what I don't understand, but what I understand, what I received. I started to give them, and this didn't stop until today. And I
Wow.
don't believe it will stop in this lifetime. And what I'm doing actually, whoever comes, I try to help them using exact spiritual technology that you give, making them, facilitating them, supporting them. Like I'm doing custom build coaching for them, custom build for them that they can really shift from where they are now for to where they want to be, to the point B as soon as possible with all the tools we have, but we are doing step by step. And what I'm offering
Yeah.
now with my Super Soul Solutions, I have this, by the way, it's 11 years old project, Super Soul dot
Wow.
Solutions projects. It's
Wow.
not .com, it's not .info, nothing like this. Super Soul dot Solutions. It's old domain. I'm doing this work for already 10 years, but now last 4 years, let's say, in most perfect form with your help. And I'm just willing to offer anybody who is willing. I'm of course aimed on heart-centered and spiritually minded people, but you know what, everybody in this universe I think is heart-centered and spiritually minded, otherwise they will not come to your work, to this work,
True.
in my
True.
opinion.
Yeah.
This is how
You
I
know, I
see it.
think that's great. Everyone is better off with a coach. I have a coach. I'm sure you've got coaches. Everyone's better off with a coach because they hold you to your highest vibration. They don't let you play small.
Mm.
But more importantly, having a creatively oriented coach that can help you with superconscious intuition and to let go of your past, it just collapses time. It's if you need to speed up time, you must step into a new you. And so I highly recommend Sasha as a coach. And if you want to know more about what he's up to, please do check out the links underneath this video and Soul Solutions. What is it again?
Super Soul dot
Super Soul
Solutions.
dot Solutions. I knew it was close. We'll put that under the video. But also, we've got this amazing book that we're both have written a chapter, and my chapter's great, your chapter's great. And
Yeah.
it's called Superconscious Manifestation. And it's how to use your superconscious, your highest mind, to turn your thoughts into things. and how to do that with precision. And it's really beautiful. It's really amazing. And your chapter's great. And so are all the chapters. But I really love what you bring to the table, especially around this idea of being spiritual, heart centered, and making money, letting go of your blocks. So, everybody, go get your copy of that book. It's incredible. Sasha, we're running out of time pretty quick. Is
Yeah.
there one thing on your heart that you would just love to share with anybody that's listening to this about how they can manifest their highest desire or make money and stay spiritual? Is there one last thing that you have to offer?
Maybe as a last thing, which I could say, is you cannot ignore your inner voice. It's always
Mm,
there. And
mm,
in whatever way, we always create. You always create what you have. But the question is, do you create what you really want, what you really love to create? So
mm,
by learning, listening the inner voice and following that inner voice, things starts really changing. And this is what people miss the most. This is what I'm maybe trying to
mm.
convey for the end. And people really will benefit from this book, Chris. I'm so convinced about that.
That's for sure, my friend. That is for sure. And nothing is a mistake. Everything happens for a reason. And if you're watching this podcast, out of all the things you could be doing, your next step is to go get a copy of the Superconscious Manifestation book. It's one of the series of books that we're releasing with people like Sasha who have been able to apply this work. And one thing I always say is it's not my work, it's our work. And people just, if they learned it from me, they just got my version of it and they take it and make it their own. And so if you resonate with what Sasha is saying, please do reach out and get a session with him and take action, but also get the book. It's incredible. So my friend, thank you so much for your contribution to the book. It means the world, really. And thank you for being here on this short interview. I hope that everybody out there does take action. So from us, stay focused, stay super conscious, go get a copy of the book, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye, Chris. Bye.
Nice, man. That was good.
Good. Yeah.
That was
I
good.
I,
Yeah,
I got a kick.
yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
sweet,
to.
man.
Yeah. Good. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you again
Yeah, you too.
from the heart for everything. We never
Always.
connected personally because of different things. I'm every day in the field with you. Most of the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
of course, Hannah is there, Alexa is there, and before so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
coaches. But I'm there. I'm there. You can check the stats in Kajabi. You will be amazed.
There's proof.
The hard
That's
proof.
funny.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
proof. No, awesome,
Also,
man.
yeah.
Really awesome stuff. I'll get this across to the team. They'll get it edited and be in touch and everything. And we're going to change the world. We're going to have a lot of people learn about what we do. And yeah, it's freaking exciting.
Yeah.
It's just
Anytime.
exciting, to be honest.
It's yeah, it's so important also in the same time, I would say. You know that. And I'm really
Hmm.
so happy to see that more and more people join you. I don't have myself just do Czech market here, local Slovak Republic, Czech Republic. I have small group but nice people, really good people. So I never cracked the code of really going massive. But I think that the next step for me is really English market, and this is why I was waiting for this book as well, because
Nice.
to crack the code here, it's hard and it's a very small
Yeah.
marketplace. But I will go this step now forward and see what is opening. I'm not in a spasm of
Yeah.
having it
Well,
now,
it's
but yeah.
people always spend more
Uh,
when they think it's from a foreign country. It's a good marketing angle. I
uh,
remember I read this book, Pendulum it was called, and it was a Russian book that was translated into English. And I think the main reason why I got it because it was this Russian book that wasn't English and it got
uh,
translated and it was
yeah,
secret knowledge. And so there's any people in the West are always looking at like the Tao Te Ching. And so we look at things that are outside of our being
yeah,
somebody coming into the English market. You can really use that and be like, oh, if it's different. So
yeah.
you'll do well. You'll do
I
well
will
for
use
sure.
that. Thank you so much. I will definitely. I am near. I am always here, and whenever something will happen, I will always reach for help and to
Nice.
assistance or whatever is needed. And
Nice.
also, the lady, one of the students which lives in America, she visited your seminar last time. What is her name? Svetlana. She took us
Yeah,
to book. Thank
she
you
said,
for
she said,
was nice.
Sasha got me here and I
Yeah,
signed them for you. Yeah.
it was very nice. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
you're
that.
welcome. No, I remember her. I remember her.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Uh,
I appreciate you. Great to connect, but I must keep moving
sure,
and
sure.
we'll talk soon. We
Big,
will.
big hug to your family and everybody, to the team, and say
Thanks,
hello to
man.
Richie and to
Yeah.
your good wife. They are amazing. I love them so much. Thank you so
Yeah. All
much.
right, man. Thank you.
Okay.
See you, brother.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.